So during the start of the pandemic, what I call my sister from another mother, Principal Tammy Taylor, and I started Create and Educate LLC. And the reason we started that platform, the platform we started was the collaborative. What we were seeing was that we were both educators, we were both educational leaders. We were hearing a lot from students, teachers, and parents, the complaints of, it's too much work being sent home. The parents didn't really understand how to work with their children. The children were frustrated. Everybody was frustrated, but no one was really talking to one another, just more about one another and pointing fingers. So we started the collaborative in order to minimize that, to bring everyone into the same space, and to bring awareness to what needed to happen during the pandemic in order for our students to best be educated with the help of parents and the educators that were sending them, the work that was needing to be done at home. In 20 years, I hope to have accomplished a lot. Definitely inspiring others, definitely an inspiration and example for not just my two daughters, but several other girls in the community and in other places that I work with, people that I mentor, educators that I mentor. But I really hope that I have made an impact on education and children. We have a program through Create and Educate called the REALL Academy for Girls, and it focuses on providing cultural relevant education specifically for girls, but we also work with a partner who focuses on African American males. We were able to raise our school report card grade levels, 2 grade levels in 1 year. A lot of the basis of that had to do with making sure that cultural relevant pedagogy, literacy, the knowledge was there for students. So we really have placed a great deal of that in our program, the REALL Academy for Girls. And the person that we work with, we're partnering for the young men, is doing the same thing for young men as well. It's so important for African American girls and males to understand exactly who they are. And a lot of times that is not taught in school. They see imagery that is, not very representative of who they actually are. They really don't know their true culture, true heritage, that so many things that are here in our culture was derived from the ancient culture of Africa. So when you know that, you operate differently. And when we really start to educate our children, they will know who they are and can come into their own. So in 20 years, I hope that several children have been inspired to be able to do it.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Good morning to all of our REALL Academy family who are here with us every Saturday at 10:30. We definitely appreciate and are grateful for you. And before we do anything else this morning, we have to celebrate one of our REALL Academy family members who sent us the I got the job message. And this time it was a principal job. Principal Sherrod Laws. He tunes in with us every Saturday to all of the Fantastic Four platforms. He's even been on the collaborative with us and Unlock the Middle. So we are just super proud of that accomplishment. We know that he's going to do some great things. So help us congratulate him. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sherrod.
Yes.
We are so proud of you.
So proud. Let me shut down this YouTube. Last time I closed down the whole StreamYard account, I wanted to make sure I didn't do that again. But yes, we are so proud of you. He is the Greenville Preparatory Academy is honored to name Sherrod L. Laws their first head of school. So congratulations again. We're looking forward to the great things that you are going to do there. So if this is your first time tuning in to the Real Academy by Create and Educate, I am Dr. Sheikah Houston, and my co-partner in education, Dr. Tammy Taylor. And I come every Saturday at 10:30 to the Real Academy. The REAL acronym is a part of Create and Educate's 5 super strengths, which is the name of our framework that is trademark pending. And the framework is the roadmap to the work. And you can see that on the top of our screen here. The framework is that roadmap. It helps leaders with those systems and alignments that they desperately need.
And the acronym REAL actually stands for respect, excellence, accountability, literacy and leadership. As we have developed this leadership resiliency framework in a way that can help students by being what we need for schools, leaders, teachers. And this is our way of pouring in so that that resiliency is built in all those groups.
Most definitely. And at Create and Educate, we are an educational consulting and literary firm. We specialize in school turnaround and leadership development through alignment strategies. And at Create and Educate, we create spaces and people that thrive.
Definitely. The reason that we're doing this work is because we definitely want to help leaders, because there was once a time when we needed help and we needed a roadmap that we did not have. We were in the throes of sanctioned school improvement, and the only help we could find was help that came from outside of the support that we really were in desperate need of. We found, though, that help and that help was through some of these folks that you tune into each week on our Fantastic Four. We also researched, and we came up with our own roadmap from that research that allowed us to turn our schools around. We turned our schools around, and as leaders, we were able to engage our teachers in that process, and we were able to engage our students in that process, and all those experiences that led to the successful outcomes that we experienced, we want to share with others, because that is what makes this well worth it for us. And Principal Kafele calls us the good doctors. We want to be your dose of medication for the week. So we are here as a group, as Sheikah said, to just really provide what we didn't have. And we've created that roadmap that can help others.
Definitely. And if you're not familiar with us, who are we? We are educators with 40 plus years between the two of us. We've served as teachers. I've served as an assistant principal. That was a role that Tammy skipped. But we've also been principals and at the district level leadership. We've presented at national and international conferences. Tammy's school was featured on in an NWA case study feature. She's also a blog contributor for NWEA. My middle school received the Palmetto Silver Award for Growth and the STEAM School Excellence Award, and we're both best-selling authors, and we serve on multiple boards in our communities. So with our knowledge and experiences, what we would like to do is help as many leaders, schools, and teachers as we can. And right now, we're filling our calendar with schools and leaders who we'll be working with for the 2024 school year. So if you are a person who would like that help, or you're interested in some of the things that maybe exploring how we could possibly help or expand your work in any way, just be sure to inbox us, email us. You can visit our website and fill out a contact form, and we'll be putting some of that contact information in the comments at the end. But the numbers, will be filling up, and as they fill up, we'll have to start a waiting list. So we don't want you to be left behind on that, if you know that that's something you desire for the next school year, please reach out to us.
Yeah, because we kind of are getting close to capacity.
We are. And the way that our real system helps leaders align that work and growth and for resilience, like Tammy talked about, one of the things that we realized is one of the number one reasons that leaders fail a lot of times is they don't have alignment in their initiatives. So things starts to look scattered, people start to feel scattered, and then when the work doesn't line, you're not productive and you're not efficient and you don't get those outcomes that you desire for your school. So this brings us to our topic for today. What is an effective leader? And we're going to define that. This is the two doctors' definition of an effective leader from Creating and Educating the Real Academy. An effective leader inspires educator self-efficacy that is student-centered and collaborative. And we're going to unpack that for you. And the reason why we have that door on the front of our framework, this is where that inspiration it starts. It starts with that door, that respect that you establish for people. The first thing that you have to do is you have to know who they are. You can't inspire people that you have no idea or inkling anything about them. So to be inspirational to people, you have to know them. And one thing that I tell teachers starting off, a lot of times we get into this mundane thing of teaching and, oh, I'm teaching the standard. So I taught that standard, check that box, I'm done with that. We're not just teachers, you are educators. You are here to inspire the next generation. Everything that comes into this world comes through an educator. So that inspiration from the leader to those educators is very important.
And if you inspire the folks that you are leading, that inspiration spills over into the children that you're serving and the families that you're touching. So being involved in that relationship that Shika's talking about for opening the door to respect, because that's our door. Opening that door of respect to build those relationships that can place you in the position of being inspiring to those folks that are around you. That really solidifies the fact that you have the capacity to be an inspiration to your group, the group that you're leading, to the team that you lead, to the school that you're leading. And one of the things that I found in my study, this is something that comes from the things that are a part of a Black woman's leadership. One of the things that came out of my study is that they are inspiring. And that's something that to have effective leadership, you want to make sure that you're cultivating those relationships so that you can be seen as an inspiration and not somebody that people are trying to hide from.
Definitely. And as we were preparing for this topic and unpacking this definition, Tammy also brought up too that you have to also have a level of vulnerability so that people will trust you. And people respect vulnerability. They respect when people don't have what I call the Teflon mentality and nothing ever sticks to you. Everything is always somebody else's doing or problem or fault. You take no accountability for anything. People do not respect that and they see that it's very apparent. So when you are vulnerable with people, people respect that. I've seen several instances where things have happened at a school and the leadership put out letters or notices to parents being transparent. People respect that. And that requires a level of vulnerability, and not that what I call the George Jefferson syndrome. We got it, we handle it, we the district folks, we in charge, we doing our jobs. People need communication, they need vulnerability, they need to know what is happening, and that takes vulnerability with effective communication.
And just like Shika said, if you are a Teflon leader, chances are your people don't trust you, because there is no perfect leader.
No.
The perfect, the only perfect individual that has walked this earth is Jesus.
Mhm.
And none of us can compare. So we have to get out of our own way so that people can see that we are human. And when you humanize yourself, people learn to trust you, because they recognize that you, just like them, are working on getting yourself together. And even though you are the leader of this school, you can misstep. And when you are able to have those conversations, oh gosh, yes, I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot that that was not in the announcements this week. Not, oh, I didn't mean for it to be there. I'm going to put it in next week's announcement. Um, so just making sure that we do allow ourselves the opportunity to express who we are in a way that allows people to connect with us and to trust our leadership.
Exactly. And that last thing that we discussed was you have to build people up. It can't just be a constant tearing down of people. You can't let your office staff personnel tear the teachers down, or anybody just constantly tearing people down. Anybody can come in and find fault with things. That is very easy to do. But you have to be that person that is providing that inspiration through building people up. I used to do this through shout outs in my weekly newsletter. One of the teachers said, everybody's on pins and needles waiting to see your newsletter. Is the biggest news of the week because we're trying to see who got a shout out. You know, people like affirmations. They like to be built up. And that also goes back to knowing your people, because you got to know what those educator love languages are. Those are things that my staff responded to. So you have to know what your people are going to respond to. And you also have to listen. So that comes into that same thing that I just talked about. Knowing and listening is how you learn who your people are, so you can effectively build them up and inspire them.
Definitely, you don't want to lead from a deficit model. Like, you want to find the good in what's happening with your people. Because if you can't find anything good happening to highlight, to shout out, there's a problem. And the problem might need to be adjusted before you can offer those shout outs. But that's where coaching comes in. You coach those people into being good, you coach them up to the level of expectation that you have for them, so that you are able to highlight them, to spotlight them, and so that everybody knows that this is what we do. We build one another up. We do not work in opposition to one another, and we do not put each other down. It's very important that you are seen as the head coach, because you are the one ultimately who is in charge of setting the tone for what the culture and climate feels like in your building.
Definitely. And when Tammy talked about that, those coaching conversations, when you have made deposits into a person, now where you have to start making some withdrawals through some of that coaching and those crucial conversations, those will go over better, because you can't take things from an empty tank. Something has to be in there before you start to make withdrawals. So once you have front loaded that, now that we're getting into building some things, building capacities, and also coaching around some things. Now this is going to go over so much better than if I just start off the gate with, oh, you need to do this. Oh, says who? That is how people respond when there's nothing in the tank.
And be sure that you are consistent, because the worst thing in the world that can happen is things are overlooked or let go, and you all of a sudden come down really harshly about something. You have to do that in stages, like Sheikah said. You're depositing all along, but at the same time you still are maintaining a level of expectation that shows everybody in the building should know what your expectation of excellence is. And so when it's time to discuss whatever might be an issue for us, this isn't a new conversation, so that a teacher is not saying, well, I mean, you've never said anything about this before. So, and I've been doing the same thing since August. We want to be sure that we're consistent and that we are aware of what's happening within the building.
Definitely. And if you're joining us late, what we are discussing today, we're defining effective leadership according to Create and Educate's the two doctors in the Real Academy. So we have defined it as something that inspires educator self-efficacy, that is student-centered and collaborative. So now we are on that unpacking the educator self-efficacy. And I see, looking at our time, this is going to be a two-parter. Me and Tammy are long-winded. So we're going to finish this one up, and then we're going to go into our announcements. But educator self-efficacy recognizes that building teacher capacity doesn't look the same way for every teacher. We have to differentiate our PDs for teachers just like we do for our students. And I had a very real conversation with a teacher just around this same topic. And this is so true, and something that so many people miss starting at the district level. We miss this.
Yeah, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we have to be in tune with what our teachers need, and this can be based on observation or evaluation data. It can be based on teachers who select the area that they need support in, and you aligning your professional development for them in that particular area, because some teachers might need some support in classroom management or discipline, while others have that together. They don't need to sit through a classroom management series because they already have that. That particular teacher might need small group instruction. I can say this, that is an area at our school that is top tier. My coaches are incredible with really getting in there and individualizing and differentiating to meet the needs of the teachers.
So we will finish this up next week with student-centered and talk about those collaborative structures that need to be in place to be an effective leader. So join us on April 26th at 7 p.m. for another episode of Connecting Educators to Great Resources. We will have two amazing guest authors on with us. Also, join us on May the 2nd for the next edition of the Collaborative. It will be at 7 p.m. This will be our Teacher Appreciation Edition, and we will have our very own superintendent on with us, Dr. Antoine Sutton. So we are very excited. Please join us on both of those days. Be sure to check out our YouTube page for all the previous 89 episodes of the Real Academy. This can be for your own PD. You can use it to coach your teachers, your leadership team. And, sometimes it's difficult to be a prophet in your own land. So hearing other people's voices say the same things you have been saying all along could do the trick for you. Keep tuning in every Saturday starting at 10 a.m. with Principal Sean Hurt. I know he's doing an amazing job this morning. We have our pre-recording, so we'll go back and watch it.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yes. And we come on at 10:30 right after Principal Herb. Principal Kafele is on at 10:55. Josh and Dean from Unlock the Middle are on Sundays at 7:30, and we call ourselves the Fantastic Four. On Tuesdays, tune in to Dr. Ross and Coach Williams to learn how to light the fires of those PLCs. And if you need inspiration for health and wellness, join our Facebook group, Fit Minds and Fit Bodies. We inspire one another. We have partners, Higher Definition, that offers that faith-based inspiration to the group, but we keep each other accountable for our workouts, and you see probably frequently our famous workout post. So keep joining us. Tune in to us next Saturday at 10:30. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everyone.
Yes, guys. Happy Saturday.